guard. Brought him in for a staggered screen with the forward. Our point guard has continued now driving him off, exploring his own shot opportunities on the wing. Our screener now on the open does not find any daylight. So he fires. Point guard always knows he's going to have a safety valve behind him. Point guard will return pass to our wing, or to our forward who is fired. Now, quite a bit of a long pass here to get it to our shooter off the staggered screen, so we teach our kids to use at least one bounce here to shorten the passing distance, and we get it to our shooter weak side off of the staggered screen. The other option off that, of course, you can tell is, as we're coming off the staggered screen, it's possible then that we would take a dribble, make a fake to our shooter, and depending upon how these two defenders handled that screening situation, we could throw to the screener down to the basket area. Our next man special we're calling 2 down. What we're really trying to do here is isolate our point guard in the post area. We teach our forwards to start low, and their cue for movement is when our point guard crosses half court and closes his shoulder. There's no movement until our point guard completely closes his shoulder, is pounding his dribble, and totally has the ball protected. That's when our forwards both move together in the same time frame, flashing straight out into the high post area, right about three-point line extended. Our point guard at that point with a closed shoulder can enter to either one of those players, whichever is the most open, or whichever the passing angle is most friendly to him. At that point, we choose one of our forward flash players for the entry. We go ahead and take our point guard off of the weak side screen. Little weak side back screen right there. Point guard always flashes away from where they enter. Down into the post area. Now, from that point, we've got a ball side forward with the ball. From that point, where the basketball goes and where our point guard isolated, where he goes, is all dependent upon where the defense plays. How much help, what angle are they playing us? The read could be to the corner and into the post. There could be a lot of help on the ball side. We may throw forward to forward. Step our isolated point guard back to the ball and go high-low. We could go through to this guard. We could skip here, making it really difficult on the defense that was once doing a great job on the ball side to get to our skip and roll our point guard through and get our point post entry. So the perimeter movement of the basketball is just designed to get our point guard isolated and get him in a situation where if he's working hard and he's playing the defense the correct way, that we can get him in isolation and either a quality shot inside or a foul.
In our first clip, notice how both of our forwards flash from low to high post in a timely manner. Point guard loops through to the post area, and we find him for a nice high-low post pass and finish. In our second clip, our kids do a nice job of being patient, waiting for our point post ISO to be in position. And our point guard posts hard and under high duress and a lot of congestion, plays strong, and is able to get the finish on the inside.
In our second option, it's going to take guard penetration to finally get our isolated post player the basketball. Again, our forwards do not move to their flashing area until the point guard has crossed half court and has totally closed his shoulder. At that point, we get high post flash with some energy. We're going to choose a side of the floor to go to with the basketball. At that point, we have our forwards into the high post. Point guard always goes away from their high post pass and down into the post. We've moved the basketball trying to create a post opportunity. The defense does a nice job of collapsing. Maybe just the man-on-man defender against our point guard is doing an excellent job and really fighting. And what we end up with is a reversal of the ball. Point guard through, back to the ball. We're going to end up penetrating in order to get him a shot opportunity in the lane.
In this third clip, our kids do a nice job of searching for the proper angle to get the ball to our isolated point guard. Without that proper angle, we penetrate, drop it to him, and end up with the same effect.
Our next man special we call 4-up. We're looking to spread the floor, create a ball screen situation, and some dribble interference on the weak side. Our first option is simply our point guard establishing a side of the floor, coming off flat on our ball screen, and attacking off that to force the defender and our ball screener and the defenders on the weak side to make a decision on how they want to play. In our first illustration, our point guard is just going to come off the ball screen and create a scoring opportunity for himself.
In this first clip, the defense never makes a commitment to stop penetration. So our point guard drives it off the top screen, ends up down the lane with a runner off the glass.
Again, with 4-up, we're trying to put the pressure on the help defense. We've got our point guard coming off the ball screen, attacking off of that ball screen, putting the pressure on the defender, guarding the screener, putting the decision-making pressure on how much to help off the corner shooter, and as well as any help defense that might be on our weak side forward. In this particular case, we come off the ball screen, we're penetrating, and we're able to get a post drop and finish off our penetration to our weak side forward.
In the second clip, our point guard uses the high ball screen, pulls up, and hits the weak side forward for the finish.
Like in any offensive set that you run, you really need to have something in there to make the defense guard both sides of the floor. We've already illustrated our point guard hurting the opponent on the penetration with both a shot for himself and a shot for the weak side forward on the drop based on how the help rotates. In this case, we are going to dribble off the ball screen, attack. We tell our point guard, if you get beneath the three-point line, which is common, and you don't have an obvious read for a shot for yourself or an open teammate closer than you are to the basket, we go ahead and fire our forward ball screener forward, fires just a couple of steps, makes himself available now to help the point guard whose dribble is killed just inside the three-point line. We pivot back out and we throw back to the screener. When the screener receives the ball, we've got some weak side action set up. It is a dribble weave, call it dribble interference, whatever you want to call it, but we get this forward off the catch, going on an automatic left hand dribble and pitch We want to have this player, and we practice this so we're not traveling. Just a short pitch now and a jump stop right there. Just a couple of feet shy of this wing player, because what we really want to have happen is we want to have the ability to pitch the ball to a kid who's a pretty good penetrator and still be able to jump stop and set that ball pick to run that weave interference that will create a drive back to the middle and a scoring opportunity off a jump shot or some kind of playmaking in the lane. So that's our weak side action with our dribble interference. Our next man special is called play number 1, and it is a point guard post isolation. It's a play that was run for me when I was a college player. Our point guard is going to go ahead and enter to a wing. It doesn't matter which wing. We're assuming now there's been some sort of screening if there's any pressure, a down screen to a curl, something like that to get one of our wing players open. If there's no pressure, no screening is necessary. What you'd like to have is you'd like to have the guards be on the wing come entry time though. So whether you have to down screen and replace, whether you have to down screen and rescreen, when you get the ball entered to a wing, we're trying to create a clear out situation in the low post. So at that point, both forwards are going to come running out of the post above the three-point line, showing their hands, asking for the ball in a misdirective way. Our point guard, as that is happening, is in a screen away mode, never intending to screen, but in a screen away mode. Other guard fills the safety spot at the top. And after this little fake screening action here on the wing, the entire low area has now been opened up. We have forwards that are high, looking for the basketball, and we have fake this screen in a very timely way off of this forward flash. We now are breaking into the low post area. What I try to teach my point guard about this play is that when you're going over and faking the screen, you need to do it in a sort of a leisurely way and not too much of a hurry, so that when you get to the wing, now you can kind of explode off of your lackadaisical screen away approach, explode low under the play where no one's really paying too much attention to you on the weak side, and now you've created this situation where we can throw the ball into the post as you're flashing, or we can throw the ball into the post as you stop and seal your defender who is going to probably be trailing you. So it is a post ISO for the point guard.
In this clip, watch closely as our point guard makes his wing entry. Our forwards will flash from the low post to the high post area, clearing out the low post area for our point guard to flash and finish on the ball side block.
Our next man special is called Stagger. Stagger has some very unique action in the sense that it has a flex cut, a staggered screen, and a ball screen. The action starts out with a simple down screen into a wing entry. Our low post player, low post forward, whoever that may be, empties to the corner. We make that pass to the corner. Point guard, after entering, moves into the low post area. We have weak side filling action taking place. Weak side fill. Weak side fill there. We now have the ball in the corner. We go ahead and swing the ball out of the corner on time to our fill people weak side. As the ball is making its way from the ball side to the weak side. We have a point flex screen being set. We have a staggered screen now being set for our point guard. Ball is here. Staggered screen by these two players. We're going to bring our point guard off the stagger. Look for this shot opportunity at the top. If we don't have it, our screeners are taught to go ahead and seal in a ball screening fashion any threatening defenders in that area. So as we come to our point guard off the staggered screen, if he can't create a shot at the top, he knows he can get into his right-hand gap right there and get a pull-up because we are turning